Someone suggested The Littlest Hobo as well.
Oh, no, too sad.
No?
I was watching that show made me so sad as a child because I just wanted the doggy to have a home.
It'll be great, though. It can be someone's ultimate. The Littlest Hobo just, like, shows up in the arena, solves everyone's problems, and leaves. Maybe tomorrow I want to settle down.
I just bawled eternally every time the dog left because I was like, why doesn't anybody give that dog a nice home and he can be warm and sleep inside?
I mean, Mr. Rogers would be an
so sad.
Easy include.
Someone suggested doing like a Mr. Rogers voice impersonation as the announcer, because of course he would never actually get into combat. I mean, none of them would, really.
Yeah, it's implying that the other people would.
It's like, yeah, Fred Penner's got a real bloodthirst. When the red mist descends, Wordbird just runs for the hills.
I need to do my Overwatch story again because I got totally thrown off by, like, the clip and, like,
Oh, you threw to the clip at the wrong time.
I threw to the clip what it said when I was supposed to be reading my line. Like, I was following the teleprompters, like,
No, because hang on. Because, you have it.
This is her actual campaign ad.
You need to finish that sentence. Workers take to basics.
Okay.
Stand for player kills. Then play the ad. Then come back to. I know what she's saying.
Okay, well that was not clear, and I figured
you wrote it.
Well, yeah, but like when this is her actual campaign ad.
when you read it out, I assumed that's what you were doing. So, all right.
Well,
the clip was very loud as well. All right, we can turn it down a little bit.
Yes, we can turn that down.
I think, I don't know, Big Friendly Giant and Mr. Dress Up I don't actually think ever made it south of the border. I know Sharon Lowson Bram was on US TV. Raffi, of course, is international. Fred Penner, I think, is known to an extent just for, like, children's music. But I feel like Camp Caribou is, like, that's pretty inside baseball Canadiana.
Yeah. I don't think any Americans ever watched Camp Caribou, but I loved Camp Caribou. It was so cool. Mr. Blobby, ugh. Mr. Blobby is definitely some sort of end boss.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we want to do that one again?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, here we go.
South Korea's presidential election happens tomorrow.
Sorry.
Man, what's going on with XSplit?
South Korea's...
No, wait. He's just checking. Yeah, everything's freezing weird. See how it's...
Oh,
It's gone away.
All right.
Sorry, let's try one more time.
South Korea...
Okay, it seems to be fine.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm testing it.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm ready now.
I'm ready too.
This time for real.
South Korea's president...
Nope.
What the fuck?
What is going on?
What's going on over there, XSplit? You got some memory problems?
Maybe.
It is actually getting low on memory.
We didn't actually put the 8K video in there. That was
a screenshot of
that was a joke that we wrote for comedy.
Yeah, I mean, legitimately it doesn't play very well. Also, there's no point in showing you an 8K video.
No, I honestly can't play that 8K video on my home computer. First of all, you can't even select the 8K size when you're not using Chrome.
Yeah, Safari's just like, fuck you.
Yeah, Safari's like, I'm not going to let you do that. And in Chrome, you can set it to 8K and you full screen it, and it's just like, even when it's not buffering.
Uh-oh.
Goodbye. When it's not buffering.
Wait, are we?
No, we're fine.
No, we're just on black.
No, we're not even on black. It's just I took the preview.
Oh, you took the preview. Okay. When the screen isn't buffering, it's running. It basically plays in slow motion. It's just like chariots of Geralt. Reminds me of the first time I encountered a 1080p video on my PowerBook.
Oh.
Yeah, that's when I knew I had to upgrade my laptop when I was just watching like 480p YouTube videos, and my laptop was like, "You mean slideshow?"
Yeah, that's when I got a new laptop too, because it was like, no.
All right, let's give this another try. Let's just test this. Okay, it seems to be loading, so let's try it and see if it figures it shit out.
All right.
All right, here we go.
Wait, we need the preview though.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
For Kathleen to know when her timing is.
Hey. All right.
All right.
South Korea's presidential election happens tomorrow, and progressive left candidate Sim Sang-jung of the Justice Party is trying to court younger voters by speaking to them in the hippest lingo of the day, Overwatch. Behold her actual campaign ad where her sick debate dunks stand in for player kills.
최고의 플레이, 심블리.
환경 파괴, 예산 낭비, 부정부패, 부실공사 그렇죠, 장관님?
그런
가정한
경우에도
문제 근본적으로 해결하지 않고 재주가 있으세요?
안전한
철저히
수단이
하고
방법이
있는데
됩니다.
어떻게 계속 늘어납니까? 환경부가 오염된 겁니다. 환경부가 후퇴한 거예요.
Yeah, I don't know what she's saying, but that dude is getting owned. Unfortunately, she's also currently polling 4th out of 5 candidates, but I'm holding out hope for a reverse all-kill.
Okay.
So I had to, because I wanted to, obviously she's released this sort of Overwatch campaign ad, but I was like, before we talk about how cool this is, let's make sure she's not from like the kill all non-whitey or kill all non-Koreans party and like advocates sending people who aren't from Korea into like the sea or something.
No.
And no, she's totally,
She
she's,
advocates creating a real Overwatch type situation.
yeah,
where
just
people
to make
are in
sure,
death
you never
matches
know.
against each
Yeah.
other.
I don't know anything about Korean politics, but so I looked her up, and she is from the Justice Party, which is definitely
Which to be fair, sounds like the name that.
somebody who is
Some-
into Overwatch would.
No, it sounds like the when you look at super oppressive right-wing regimes, they
Yeah.
like to use, we're the Freedom Party, we're the Justice Party.
Her party means it in more of the social justice aspect. She's a longtime labor activist. She started out work at a cassette tape factory and then got fired for demanding better working conditions and food. And then has been a sort of a career politician, sort of advocating for improvements to labor laws, and she wants to improve income inequality in South Korea by giving like $8,700 to everybody under the age of 20.
Interesting, by the way.
And
Just-
she's the only candidate who's boldly outspoken for LGBTQ rights.
Interestingly, brief little political intrigue. So this election's happening because the previous president.
Sorry, can I stop local recording?
Yes.
Yes.
Because the previous president was impeached for like corruption and like money laundering and whatever. That president's party is currently polling 5th, unsurprisingly, and
Well,
they were much more on sort of the right end of the spectrum. The person currently leading is also
sort of center.
is also center left.
Yeah,
right.
I would say.
So like elect corrupt right-wing person, and then the country's like, oh, let's not repeat that mistake.
Yeah, basically, the previous president, her party was sort of a center. I mean, like, Korean politics seem to be very similar to Canadian. Everybody hugs the center.
Yeah.
Right? It was sort of a center-right. Her previous party sort of exploded because she got impeached for corruption and influence peddling. So a bunch of people broke away from her previous party and formed their own party, which is like Busan or something like that. Or I don't know. I don't know much about Korean politics, and their candidate is like 5th, and is like way like 4% support or something like that. At least they tried. But yeah,
You can just imagine they'd be like, so who wants to run? Who wants to, you're not going to win, but I mean, who in the party wants to, give it a go? Anybody?
Steve.
No?
You know what?
I'll give you a Starbucks gift card.
We'll have our own party, and without hookers and booze.
Yeah. They hug the center so they get
the
on
opposite.
the point.
yeah. Is this the previous one that she made a list of artist filmmakers that would not get government support? Ooh. Wow. Yeah, their previous president, she was a bad lady for a variety of reasons, but. Yeah, so the new guy, I looked up his platform because I was curious. I had sort of fallen down a Wikipedia hole at this point and leaned into it. And their new guy's platform is like, we're going to tax the rich to create more public sector jobs, and we're going to invest like something like $8 or $9 billion into like startups and small and medium-sized businesses. And I'm like, this sounds very similar to the Liberals, the Canadian Liberals, federal Liberals plan that won them the last election, sort of a center-left economic stimulus, a little bit more tax for the rich, a little less tax for the middle class and the poor.
Korean politics is also heavily influenced by the fact the country is technically at war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy who's winning is very closely aligned with the Sunshine Policy, which
is, it's
which
very...
is like peaceful reunification.
I mean, sunshine in the terms of sunshine and rainbows as like a magical Christmas land, sounds, wouldn't it be great to reunify Korea? Not going to happen, but wouldn't it be nice? In theory.
Yeah, the previous president was under the influence of a Rasputin-like cult leader. Yeah,
Jesus.
Yeah.
How do you get that job?
Cult leader?
Rasputin-like cult
Yeah,
leader?
Rasputin-like cult leader.
Which liberals? Federal liberals.
I guess you have to be Rasputin-like first.
Provincial liberals. The provincial liberals are about as right wing as the provincial liberals or the current.
They're our most right-wing party
Yeah.
in the province.
AKA they're center right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is British Columbia.
Canadian politics gets kind of confusing for that reason if you're not from here, that our federal party, the Liberals, well, BC politics, I guess, is confusing. We have a Liberal Party of Canada, which is much more like
Center left.
center left, and then locally we have the Provincial Liberal Party, which is a completely unrelated party and is much more right wing.
Center right.
Yeah,
I mean-
again, everything's sort of center.
Came.
Welcome to Canada.
I
Welcome
mean,
to
it depends
Canada.
on
We
what
also
you're
have
defining. If you're defining it versus American politics,
Yeah. That election is also tomorrow.
Yeah, our election is tomorrow too, and I'm excited to go vote. Phoenix Miller, I know nothing about BC Poly. Just there's a lot of people who don't like Clark. Oh, crusty Clark. She doesn't have time for people who like. I'm not even joking. She does not give a shit about you unless you are like a rich person or like a rich business who is going to give her stuff. Like it's pretty well documented at this point that they have like taken millions in handouts from like companies and stuff like that, and like her concern for actual people in the province who work here is like nil.
Not just although it's not just rich white people.
No, she'll take rich Asian
Chinese people.
rich Americans. She will listen to anybody if they're rich. She's
Yeah.
not a racist.
Yeah.
She's a richest.
I guess that's classist.
Yeah, she's classist, I guess.
Also, potential corruption in voter donations.
Oh,
People
no.
who gave them lots of money somehow keep showing up on appointing committees. Weird how that is.
Yeah, there's an RCMP investigation into that.
I don't know how you. I'm sorry. I don't want to get into this on.
It's kind of funny too.
Stream.
It's I was mostly amused by it. There's no relation. There's no
Hey,
actual.
it's Paul.
There's no actual relation, but about 10 years ago, we had a very, very high-profile, very humiliating, corrupt prime minister named Glenn Clark.
Oh no, premier, not prime
sorry,
minister.
Premier.
Yeah, that's.
Glenn Clark. Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not related, but it's just weird.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he was. We had a
We had electing people named Clark.
we had a series of premiers where we had, I think, 3 or 4, or maybe even more than that, resign in disgrace.
BC has a.
It took us. We had like a series of premiers where nobody got to the end of their term.
Oh,
they
yeah.
kept having to switch up to a different. It was bad.
British Columbia politics for many years, because British Columbia is sort of like the California, the hippie, the granola coast of Canada, right? Like British Columbia is already kind of like weird in compared to the rest of Canada, and just like Canadian BC politics is honestly hilarious. I mean, it's like more.
Come to PEI where all the politics is local.
It's hilarious,
No kidding.
Yeah.
if you don't have to like live it.
Yeah. Anyway, back to video games,
Yes.
which are not political in any way. That was a joke. Mario plus Rabbids. What a mashup. That's weird, right? I didn't
No,
expect to
who
see
was
those
that?
two connected.
Mario
in a
will-
turn-based RPG, no less.
Yeah, Mario will hang out with anyone.
Now the Mario RPG, there's different sort of branches of Mario RPG, but Mario-based RPGs have traditionally been pretty good. Like the Paper Mario series is great. I played
Mario RPG. Of course.
Yeah, well, I mean, Mario RPG was the first one, but then there was sort of like a split into the Mario and Luigi RPGs
Right.
and the Paper Mario series, and they've not been bad, right?
No.
Like no one's been like this
Paper
is shit.
Mario is sweet.
So exactly, yeah. E.C. Jones, the words of doom. Ubisoft developed. Now, Ubisoft can make good games. I mean, Nintendo's not going to let Ubisoft.
Make a shit game. Nintendo
Yeah.
has pretty exacting quality standards.
If they're using Nintendo would allow Ubisoft to release a crappy game on their platform, but not with Mario in it, right? This is obviously being like co-produced with Nintendo, and at some point there's a brand to care about. And I imagine people at Ubisoft are like, holy crap, we can't fuck this up. But yeah, I agree with you, Riandisa. I've also never really seen the appeal of the Rabbids. Well, no,
I
that's
find
not
them
true.
really
I
fucking irritating.
I understand the appeal in the same way we mentioned. I mean, I said minion-esque in the story. Paul was like, they're basically minions, and they are. They're just like interchangeable, random, like whatever
Except the
slapstick characters.
Yeah, except the minions. Unlike the minions,
I
the
miss
rabbits.
Raymond.
The rabbits' big thing is that they scream,
Yeah.
Oh, I know. They're so
which
irritating.
is less endearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Um,
We've discussed the election.
Discussed the election thing. The Witcher thing was just funny that I couldn't even play the video. Like, not even the game, just the actual video. Couldn't play it.
The May Overwatch thing is a happy accident that basically, as reported,
Yeah,
heard it, thought, hey, that's great, and found a place for it in the game.
I like that it's the actual actress apologizing for messing up a line or whatever.
Yeah. Well, the question is, will this be at Ubisoft's E3 presser or Nintendo's broadcast? Probably both.
Yeah.
I feel like with Mario in it, they would definitely, talk about it on Nintendo's thing.
Yeah. And then, so the Bob Ross bundle for Smite,
That's sweet AF.
it's got
if I played Smite, I would play nothing but Bob Ross from now on.
it's got like a Bob Ross jump. It's like a jump tag or jump thing. When you jump, you leave like an effect behind on the ground, and you can have that be Bob Ross's face. So when you just jump everywhere and leave Bob Ross faces, you get like a Bob Ross border, like a character portrait and like a loading screen. But yeah, it's a complete reskin for this Sylvanas character. That it's just because the way that the character works is he's riding on the back of a tree ant. So the tree ant is happy and smiling and has like a moss beard now.
Yeah.
But the guy riding on his back just is Bob Ross now, and he sits there up there like painting the whole time. And he can summon a tree with like a big smiley face on it and clouds with smiley faces. And
Yeah, he throws clouds with smiley
then,
faces.
it's ridiculous.
There was a couple days ago they demoed it on a Twitch stream. You can watch the replay to actually see some of the stuff.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. And I do like it. It's like, wow, this took a long time after the Bob Ross marathon ended. And bet you to anything, somebody working on Smite was like, how cool would this be? And they're like, okay. And then they're like, all right, somebody from legal go get ahead of the Bob Ross, get a hold of Bob Ross's family, and then just months of negotiations goes by, and then they start working on it, and now it's out.
Oh man, Julia Child. We joked about Julia Child, but I forgot about Bob Vila and Norm Abrams.
Ooh.
Man, my parents watched a lot of This Old House
Oh yeah.
and the New Yankee Workshop.
Wow. All right.
What else?
Bob Vila versus Bob Ross.
All right, what stories did we
They
not
were
talk
natural
about?
enemies behind the scenes. Most people don't know that.
Oh yeah, Valve has overhauled the way that Steam handles game gifting.
Yeah, basically, remember how we did that gift a game to an Australian thing because you could buy a game for $12 and they had to pay like $20 for it? Doesn't work like that anymore. They've closed that particular loophole, which is bad for Australians, but also bad for resellers. Basically, they're basically trying to close the loopholes by which somebody resells Steam games at a discount or a markup or whatever. Right?
If you want to buy
that,
somebody
right?
a game, you go and you buy the game and you send it as a gift, and that's it. You can't buy a game and just put it in your Steam inventory and let it sit there and then later be like, oh, I have this gift for you. You have to send it when you buy it.
And they haven't said what the cutoff is, but you also won't be able to send games if you're sending it to a place where the game was a lot different in terms of price,
Yeah.
Right.
which is the Australia thing.
Yeah, basically, it fucking it blows ass, but I know why they are doing this. It's to prevent people from reselling and on PayPal
Well, yeah,
and
I mean,
gifting
you
and
can- you can know why-
running a side business of buying Steam games on sale and selling them to Australians
Yeah.
for slightly below their price.
I mean, they're doing it because they're a business and they want to make money, and they don't like the idea that people can save money by doing it. So that's not really a good defense, I guess. It's like, I understand why, but
Well,
it's shitty.
I mean, basically, part of the problem with Steam is that you do have these predatory sort of third-party websites going through and, closing the loop.
G2A's prices went up?
Oh. So that's why G2A's prices went up. So to stop G2A. Haha. Yeah, I imagine the G2A situation has a lot to do with it. There's lots of people who make like a tidy side business, basically being Steam gray market sellers, smuggling games from one region to another, essentially, right? So, but that's not always good for the people who are buying it. So, I'm sad that people who pay more for no good reason for games, Australia, New Zealand, that kind of thing, are not going to have a way to get fair pricing. But at the same time, like I said, I totally understand what they're doing, and overall, it's probably better.
But like, for instance, something that is relevant to our chat and sometimes is like people will like get stuff on Humble Bundle
And
then gift away the keys that they don't need.
Yeah.
But you won't be able to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the whole thing, is that you can't just keep stuff around and then give it away. Like, I think this sucks, actually.
Yeah.
Dota 2, speaking of Valve, Dota 2, in an attempt to try to claw back some of the MOBA ground.
Apparently, Humble Bundle is different from buying gifts.
Will it? Okay. I assumed that would be...
Some people were complaining about that, so maybe they didn't understand it.
Okay.
Yeah. Does that
All
mean...
right. So maybe that's not the case. But
All right.
it hasn't happened. This hasn't gone through yet, so who knows?
Don't make any decisions based on what we just said, because the story is developing. This is why we didn't do it in the main show, because it's like anyway. Right, Humble Bundle is keys.
Oh, right. It hasn't
can
actually been added to anybody's account at that point.
Okay, so you can give the keys away.
Right. So you give the keys away.
You can't activate the key on your account and then give the game away. You
Right.
could give the key away.
Right. Okay. Okay. So that's okay.
Anyway, so Dota 2 is getting something that I've not heard any MOBA get before, which is a campaign, which seems weird.
Yeah,
That was always, yeah.
It seems like single player. It's like single player in like Counter-Strike or something. It's just like, okay, I guess you can play with a bunch of bots, but
Yeah.
but yeah, apparently it's actually going to have like a real campaign, like a story.
Weird.
That sound was very Tim Allen. So yeah, it'll be co-op too, like a co-op story campaign, which is like
Weird.
Yeah, I know. I've never heard of a MOBA that has that.
Now you have.
But now I have, and
I guess
good luck for Dota. Dota 2 is curious because they never seem to pull the same, as an esport, they never pull the same sort of viewership as League, like in terms of like consistently day to day. League is
Right.
always destroying them, even when they have like events, except for the international, which is insanely massive. It's
Right.
very strange to me.
Well, I mean,
They have one spike a year.
it's partially because they're dropping like $50 million in prizes during the international. Like the international is the biggest
But that money
prize.
doesn't. Yeah, but that money doesn't come from Valve, right? It's like it's just odd that they make so much. They receive so much influx of money for the prizes for the international, but for the rest of the year, the people who are supporting them in that way don't seem to watch.
It's because the international is almost sort of like become like the Super Bowl of esports at this point. Like it's just fucking enormous. It's like basically like a con that happens, right? Because there's like parties and events and
Convention,
all sorts of
not-
not con job.
Yeah.
It's basically like a Dota themed esports convention, kind of.
Oh, see, GG. I don't actually play it, so I didn't know that. That of course, Dota has in-game streaming, so you can watch people, and you don't even need to watch on Twitch. You can just watch people through the game.
Right. So
I
the
did that
Twitch
actually.
stats-
I did the VR. At Ben and Molly's place, I did the VR watching.
Oh yeah,
Pro
I remember
play.
reading a story
Yeah.
about that.
That was really fucking weird.
All right. What else we got going on?
The Galaxy fight.
Yeah, it's this obscure Sunsoft fighting game from like '95.
Yeah.
And at this like sort of holy grail of like fighting game arcades in Tokyo and Tada Nobata or something like that.
I think so. The
A neighborhood I
metagame.
know only from Persona games.
There's a unique
and Atlas games.
metagame for this one fighting game.
Well, no, it's because the owner
Mikado.
of the arcade.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the owner of the arcade. Was like, because you can control it, like the test settings was like, what happens if I made a 1 second match? And it's actually 2 because it stays on the screen like
One,
and then
zero,
0
stop. Yeah.
And then how does that work? And apparently it's just amazing, and it's like very much distills it down into the essence of fighting games because there's no time to like.
Because it's when the timer runs out, whoever has more health wins.
So you
right.
just basically got to go.
So it's just basically whoever can like land any kind of
Yeah, do
punch.
you risk it all on like a like a risky like uppercut that can be blocked, and then like the person just has to like do a little kick, and then they get you right.
It's like a combination of like I feel like it comes from the same place as like dive kick.
Yeah, I mean, but dive kick could be like a
Dive kick can go for a while.
Well, yeah, but it's the same thing where one hit kills you, right?
Yeah.
Egypt. Okay, cool. Didn't know how to pronounce that. Anyway, yeah. So it's just you have 2 seconds. It's just really interesting. So yeah, there's a unique metagame in this
Yeah.
arcade about
and I think
this
it's
game.
And I think it's because most fighting games, even on like demo mode or whatever, you can't get I think that what happened is that this one just happened to be you happen to be able to get the timer down that low, whereas like Street Fighter, even on testing mode, you can't actually get the timer down that low because they never bothered to make that a thing. So in World of Warcraft, there's this really cool event called the Running of the Gnomes, which is something that's actually been
It's
happening.
not previously an official thing.
Yeah, so it's something that's been happening apparently since 2010.
Yeah.
like a fan-driven
in unofficial
players.
and whereas this year Blizzard is actually like doing some support for it.
They're like, fine, you guys are gonna do this. It's now a thing.
Basically, what it is everyone creates alternate characters that are gnomes with pink hair. And partially, the idea is you make gnomes and also tabards. And so the whole thing is for breast cancer awareness. And so, the pink thing is sort of in connection to that. And so the idea is that it's like a level 1 gnome.
Yeah.
And you're trying to run them the entire way across the map. With all the scary stuff that would be in there. So it's sort of a combination of like a race and also like a survival thing.
Yeah.
Whether you can whether like a level 1 player can actually make it all the way across. And so apparently this year they've because Blizzard is actually sponsoring it or whatever. They've set up an official starting line. They've had the like little quest checkpoints that you can go through, and there's also like NPCs like cheering along the sidelines.
I assume this isn't on a PvP enabled server.
I guess probably not. Yeah, it seems like that people would just stand there and gank at people as they go by.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Yeah.
I would assume so.
The aggro radius of monsters is yes. Yeah, apparently Griffin was training for this the whole time. I don't know if you saw any of Griffin McElroy's Peacecraft videos.
No.
Where he had a gnome named Randy, who he was trying to basically cross all of Azeroth without killing anything. To varying success.
Then there's this other story which is actually kind of, I don't know if we haven't really talked about it on Checkpoint that much, but there's been this whole thing with YouTube cracking down and changing how they're doing advertising.
Yeah.
Well, because before you would just be like, I would like to advertise on videos, but you didn't get a lot of like controls, and so companies were very annoyed to see that sometimes their videos would come up on some pretty heinous, gross content. Mm-hmm. So it's like, am I tacitly supporting this racist diatribe? Oh shit!
Yeah.
And so a lot of advertisers have pulled their ads from YouTube, just for some context there.
Yeah, and so then in response, YouTube has started being more specific about categorization and more sort of very heavy-handed about what constitutes sort of categorizing ad videos for ads in terms of like whether something is sort of safe content or
if
stuff.
you turn on restricted mode.
This is different from restricted
which
mode.
is different. But someone in chat was like, "Isn't this even affecting LRR's channel?" Yeah, if you turn on restricted mode, which I don't recommend because it's shit. Loading Ready runs like our channel is like it's just wall to wall tap concede and like 2 crap shots.
So, but this is different from restricted
but this
mode.
is different.
So this is talking about advertising.
Yeah, this is not advertiser friendly, which is a newer thing as well.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, broadcaster, your video, this, has been determined to be not advertiser friendly, and you can't put ads on it. Mm-hmm. And it's like,
or you only get
says fucking who?
You get like super low CPM.
Or you get really crappy ads.
Says the robots.
Yeah. And so basically, what this particular story I was looking at amounts to is that people have found that Call of Duty World War II, which just came out, obviously super ridiculously popular game because it's a Call of Duty game.
People want
lots of people are streaming it. Lots of people are putting Let's Plays up, doing all that kind of stuff. And the ad revenue that they're getting from that is like orders of magnitude lower than like the last Call of Duty game.
Yeah.
And there are some streamers who are like dedicated Call of Duty streamers or players.
YouTubers. Yeah.
And they're realizing that this is not going to work. And because, I guess, because
they're getting like 10 to 20 times less revenue per video.
Because the Call of Duty World War II, I guess, has, I don't know, it's not even necessarily that it has like more violence in it. It's just they've cracked down on it more. And so it is considered, despite it being a video game and whatever, it's considered to be not advertising friendly content. And so, it's an interesting thing where it's like, because there's a lot of games where the YouTube Let's Plays and streaming and that kind of stuff can be a really huge influence on the popularity of the game itself.
Yeah.
And so if we're getting into this aspect where it's like if you have a violent game or a game with whatever blood and stuff or with like sexual content or whatever, regardless of whether it's, totally apart from it actually being like banned or whatever, just the idea that because it won't be able to get good advertising, that means big Let's Play YouTubers won't do it because they can't get any money from it, which means they won't play it, which means nobody will see your game. So there's a weird kind of interaction between this stuff that makes it interesting. I mean, obviously, Call of Duty doesn't need any help, but
the AIM map, when a video gets flagged for as not being advertiser friendly, you get an email about it. Assuming you have those notifications turned on. But I mean, it's not. You don't just like, man, why is this video so crappy?
Part of the reason why you're talking about the restricted mode. Part of the reason why people were pissed off with that is there wasn't any notification on that because they just made this new mode.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of people weren't in it.
Yeah.
And they didn't explain why, or they haven't explained why or when or how you could not become in that thing.
Yeah, it was a whole thing about the first thing that was discovered was it was blocking a bunch of LGBTQ friendly videos, which someone tested. I love this. They uploaded the exact same video twice. One titled "This is a video" and one titled "This is a gay video," and that one got
just because of the keywords.
That one disappeared on restricted mode, and so YouTube, for their part, has said that was not intended, and that they are looking into why that happened and fixing it, but that hasn't happened yet, and they haven't said anything else. So.
And then the last story to talk about here, and this is something we have cut not in this.
Oh, that's true. Sorry,
case.
Real quick. Fit Orion points out why a video is deemed not ad friendly is not explained.
Right.
It just says this video has been determined to be not ad friendly.
Right, and it's part of a larger YouTube lacking in communication issue that has been the case for basically since its inception.
Yep.
But okay, so the last one thing, something we've talked about before, copyright stuff. This particular instance is a new one, but this thing with
there's an indie game called Pray to the Gods.
Pray for the Gods.
Pray for the Gods. That just has
It's a pun.
It's basically a Shadow of the Colossus inspired game, sort of.
That's sort of it's got that kind of gameplay where
Yeah.
and it looks like a neat game. and
They had to change their name because, of course, there's a big game coming out called Prey.
out now, but
Yeah.
Out now.
It's Prey for the gods because you are the prey for the gods. You see, because prey, it's a homonym, and
Yes.
sorry, Paul, continue.
Humanoma.
Yeah.
And so what I like about this, so this is, I mean, and there's all sorts of stuff about, that there's various reasons why a company would have to do this aside from them just being shits. And you can go back and forth on that. What I like is that the solution that they came up with,
Homophone, thank you.
the solution they came up with is, so this game, Pray for the Gods, has now been, the name is now Pray for the Gods. Praey for the gods.
Why not?
Pray?
So this is exactly what we were talking about a couple weeks ago with Cyberpunk,
Right.
right? Which is that it's not like nobody can use the word prey, but Bethesda has prey trademarked for use in video game titles because they just released Prey, and to see another game is like Prey for the gods, be like, oh, is that related to this other Prey? And it is the argument. So that's what this kind of trademark defense is.
The technical reason is that you don't want some, I'm going to say, Slovenian studio releasing some sort of / Prey, a stealth space adventure that looks very similar and has a very similar name, and putting it on Steam and making it like $8 and it's a broken piece of garbage.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that still
Richard Erman,
happens,
it's
but
not-
at least you can have legal recourse against that.
It's not. So it's important that it's not that they have trademark on the word prey. It's the word prey used in the names of video games.
Yeah.
Right.
So that is the reasoning why studios, and not just Bethesda, but although Bethesda's taking a lot of heat over this because prey is fairly common in video games, is taking that's why studios do that. It's so you can't kind of like the knockoff movies, right? Same deal, right?
I never did see Transmorphers.
I mean, and then they got there's the Scrolls thing was
But all
was the
all
other
the
big one
Bethesda.
that happened recently.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, is it Praey or is it? Did they use the
In the article, it's
the
not.
schwa.
In the article, it doesn't have the ligature.
ligature? That's it. Yeah.
But I don't know what maybe this because the font of that
right.
it was written in. I don't know, but it's a weird part of this as stuff. But at least one thing that is not, this is essentially the same thing that back in the day, what's his name, Tim Langell, the Edge thing, right? The guy who had trademark on the word Edge.
Yeah.
This is basically the same deal.
Yeah.
Except that he would go after people and demand money to put the word edge in their game, and so he was just like a trademark troll.
Well, but the two parts of this that's different is one, they're not doing it like after the game is already out and big and successful.
Yeah.
And the second part is they actually Prey is a game that is out.
Yeah.
It's not like the whole thing with the Tim Langell was that they never actually made any games.
Yeah.
Someone was asking, didn't we give King crap for this for Candy a couple years ago? No. Saga was the problem, right? It was Candy Crush Saga, and they
tried to
trademark Saga, which was like, wait, no, there's tons of games that
Already
already
named
use
Saga.
that are like something Saga, right? It's like an adjective, right?
Yeah.
I
think
people were upset about that.
Yeah, obviously there is a gray area in terms of what should and should not be allowed. I think Prey is probably fine, and Scrolls is probably fine too. But yeah, like Saga or like Story or Game or something like that would be off the limits, I think.
Yeah. Lucan points out it probably has something to do with prey being the first word in the title. Like someone could probably make a game called Hunting for Prey and it would probably be fine.
Yeah,
it depends,
I think
right?
you're probably right.
It totally varies, right? So I've trademarked that they wouldn't let you do. Look, it's weird, all right? It's real fucky.
Yeah, trademark. The big thing with trademark law is, it's weird. It's also like basically built into it is that it's inconsistent, right?
Yeah.
Like it's going to be inconsistent because it's all just based on who decides to actually enforce their various trademarks and what situation they decide to enforce it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are lots of games out there that have Prey in their name that that they have chosen not to deal with.
Yeah, probably.
Just because they don't consider it to be an important thing.
Oh, that's a good point, Jeezy. I didn't think about that. It's pray for the gods, but yeah, pray to the gods could be misheard as pray to
The gods.
the gods. But it was pray for the gods because otherwise the pun wouldn't work.
And I mean, really, we know that there will never be a Prey 2.
Yeah. There is a
Though
band.
there may be another Prey game, but it'll also just be called Prey.
Yeah. There is a band called the.
They'll just
Oh right, pray for. Right. Yes. Pray for the gods.
there you
But
go.
the point being,
Didn't think about that.
Like, there's all sorts of contextuality for these trademarks. And I explained why, obviously, with my sort of over-the-top ridiculous example of why it's a good idea and it's actually technically good for consumers that there are these protections in place, right? Because,
In most circumstances.
in most circumstances, but occasionally things can be really shitty because it's
Yeah.
it's a cudgel that is applied unevenly and does not take circumstance into account.
Yeah.
Right. It's like copyright and trademark are they're not inherently evil as a thing. They're put there for very important reasons, but they can be abused in all sorts of ways.
Yeah.
And there are lots of companies that have ridiculously huge amounts of money invested in abusing them because you can make a lot of money off that. Anyway, we should talk about subscribers.
Yeah. Let's do it.
I should. Oops, I didn't set up the thing. I better figure out who actually is the subscriber person.
Who is the alpha?
Who is the alpha, and then that will then tell us, I guess, who the
Well, the omega will pop up whenever they.
The omega will be whoever.
Yeah.
That's you don't hear that particular one very often. It's like you are the alpha. The omega is unimportant.
Radiant Online,
It'll
we
figure
actually
itself
don't we don't really have much experience with trademarks. Literally, what happened with that is that Rooster Teeth was like, "We're going to bring back this show, and we're going to call it Checkpoint now." And on Twitter, a bunch of people were like,
What the fuck?
"What are you doing? Loading Ready Run already has a show called Checkpoint." And I contacted because Rooster Teeth is owned by Fullscreen, which is our YouTube network. So I emailed our partner rep and I was like, "Hey, can I
escalate this up the chain?"
No, literally what I said is, "Can you put me in touch with someone at Rooster Teeth? I'd like to talk to them." And then I heard back, "Let me look into it." And then they've changed it. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Can I still talk to them? No. Okay.
Our
right.
high-priced lawyers laid the smack down.
Like we didn't. I never spoke to anybody at Rooster Teeth. Not on Twitter. Not through official connections. No one talked to us. It just they announced it. People made a stink. I asked to be put in touch with someone, and they renamed the show. And so I was like, all right, fine, whatever. A couple people have got a hold of me that there's a Kickstarter actually for a web series about mental health as it relates to the video game industry that just launched out of Australia that is also called Checkpoint. It's the Checkpoint, the web series or something like that. And it's a good name.
It's a good name. I mean, and it's a name like there are lots of other things called Checkpoint too.
Yeah, we're not gonna. I don't know what we would like. These people, they're halfway through their campaign. They've got URLs. They've got like they use the name all over the place. It's not like we're gonna go to them and be like, hey, like we're not even competing with them.
Yeah,
so
I
it's
mean,
like,
they're a charity organization called Checkpoint that was created like a year or two ago.
Yeah, so
I mean, they're in Australia, so
nothing real happens in Australia.
So I mean, the chances of those episodes getting over here, even over the
There's a whole ocean in the way.
yeah.
You know how long it would take to
To send it on the internet
on
from the
foot?
ocean.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the internet travels over the ocean on boats.
I can only imagine.
Maybe airplanes in certain circumstances.
A well-trained porpoise.
If they try to sue us, then we'll be like,
Oh yeah, no, that's not possible.
Well, that's a different thing.
Yeah, that's like not. That would be stupid.
that would be
But,
stupid
yeah.
because it'd be like, well, our series goes back like 6 years.
But like
So
there
we
are
had the name first.
there are
place.
like video game. There's a video game company called Checkpoint Games or something too, right? Like there's Checkpoint. Obviously, is a video game term.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like they're like this thing. They're like their their logo and aesthetic and color scheme and everything is entirely different. Like they're not. It's not even a thing. I'm assuming we're probably not even on their radar.
In fact, the first episode of Checkpoint premiered on PATV 6 years ago tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Spiffy Diffy.
Oh, right. Somebody was saying that we had our 6-year anniversary coming up. We needed cupcakes or something like that, but then we had all of that cake, and so we're all kind of caked out now.
There's still a little bit left.
Oh, of the lemon.
Yeah. You want to go have cake?
The lemon cake was so good.
But yeah, so
I need actual lunch,
happy
though.
6th anniversary.
Hey!
All right, let's do our subs now.
Surprise.
Especially and happy 6th anniversary to people who were watching on Penny Arcade too,
Yeah.
because it's all thanks to you. Well, somewhat.
Why is there
we
cake?
did some stuff.
It was a thing.
Yeah, there's a whole cake. Watch the beginning of the crapshoot. That explains the cake as succinctly as we can. All right. Ready for subs?
I believe so.
Let's do it. Kathleen, you want to take us? You want to start
Yeah,
us
I'll
off?
start us off.
All right. Whoop.
Hey, it's Hail the RNG, who is subscribed for 27 months, says, triple sub baby.
Enemy of Zeus is an enemy of mine. Wait, no, is a friend of mine. It's a new sub. Welcome.
Monsters and Heartache is a new subscriber.
Welcome to the channel.
Can't Wear Hats is subscribed for 45
band
months,
name.
says, that's a lot of months.
That is a lot of
That was
months.
a lot of months.
James is in chat. Roan678 for the 44-month resub. Welcome back.
SW Pilgrim for 14 months. Thank you.
Dandy Swag for 8 months says 1 month to lure sub baby, unless it's late.
That's true. Narok with a 7-month resub says post-stream sub train hype.
Kinpatsu for 7 months.
These continue to be incorrect,
Right,
but whatever.
whatever.
I guess there was a Twitch.
Richard Urbid for 10 months says 10 months of fun. For that and so much more, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Richard.
Bronze Finger with a 41-month resub. Neobium sub hype. Wow.
Solo Win Temperamain for 22 months and also said something.
Eddie at the Gov for 3 months says 3 months. That's long enough to want to be meta about our memes, but I work nights and I'm tired.
Mars is dead. Oh, with a 3-month resub says all the checking of the points. Lord Haas brings up a really good point about the checkpoint thing also.
Black Wolf for 41 months. A happy little sub.
Aw,
No. Stoic Spartan for 7 months.
welcome back. Zach Zed. I'm going to say Zed with a 5-month resub. No joke here. Just wanted to say I really enjoy the content. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Zach. Appreciate it.
Hop Pole Studios for 3 months. Today's checkpoint was brought to you by the letter 3.
Yeah, chat was doing a thing. Cy Cooksey for 3 months says, thanks for filling up the weekly wacky news so I can have weird conversation starters.
Psychosis.
Psychosis, oh.
Jay Codir, a new subscriber. Welcome to the channel.
Heap Nuyen, 1991. Thank you.
Cataclysmic Reverb for 16 months.
Booster 6 with 12-month resub. 12 months, that's exactly the 1 year. Found you guys through Checkpoint when it started on PATV.
Woo!
Hey, there we go. Thanks for sticking around, Booster 6.
Pyromorph for 22 months. Homophone restricted.
the children.
Thinking of children.
Because I said homophone.
Oh.
So joking about the
Zaphon
restricted, yeah.
for 19 months says, using my message to mention that you can tell Prey was made by the same people as Dishonored.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I hear it's real good.
Alexander the Mediocre with a 4-month resub. Welcome back, Alexander. Thank you.
Sam Wonk for 10 months for joy in hard times.
Aw. Angor 33 for 41 months. It's 41 months, that's almost happy 6-year anniversary.
Why not? And thanks for 578 bits from Lance Cross, Ghostwise, W. Nevik, Delta V, Asian Insect, and Frankenstein.
Woo!
Frankenstein.
Ferguson.
It's actually
So we missed
Frankenstein.
Pronounced and when?
Nguyen.
Nguyen. Yeah.
I prefer Nguyen.
Nguyen.
That's super incorrect.
Yeah. The
I always feel bad.
It's
that
like
I-
Nguy, you know.
yeah, good old. You remember.
It's
Nguyen.
the famous
from school.
It's the famous Nintendo mascot Nguy.
Yeah. Right. Like the stick man with the N for a face. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and 50 bits from Lord
56
Hosk.
bits. 50 to get on screen and 6 for 6 years.
Oh. Okay, 1 second. We missed somebody's sub message.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Paul didn't have time to read it out.
Yeah, I got overly confused. Here, 1 sec. Let me make sure I.
It's because we got them. It's a
I
sweet
need to
spot. It's
finish-
like you need long enough to read the thing and figure out how to say somebody's username.
So Solo Win Tempera Main for 2 months in a row said, just finishing my first video project. Good job.
Hey, cool.
All right.
Congrats. Yeah, once I really, 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 really need to finish Deus Ex, Mankind Divided.
And then you should,
Because we played it on running start and I was like, I gotta finish this game. And then Prey seems like my shit.
yeah. Apparently, Prey is very much your shit.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, do you want to play like a stealthy game with powers?
I do.
Yeah, you do. And apparently, that is. They're
I
like,
also-
fuck. What does Graham want?
I also
Do you want
want.
some sort of sci-fi thing where you're
Honestly, I also need to play Dishonored 2.
Yeah.
But
Because
still.
I think it's actually like. I believe I was reading somewhere that they've fixed the frame rate issues that it was having.
What, Dishonored 2?
Yeah.
Ooh, someone should tell Alex.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot, we don't have that. Do we have that image to show? No, we don't.
No.
Because I
What
didn't give
image?
it to you. I have to go get it.
Yeah, you can give me anything.
I didn't give you anything.
Oh,
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to unplug this. So sorry about this noise.
We're gonna. Ooh. Apparently, people are saying they've seen Prey compared to BioShock and System Shock.
Yep.
Oh, and
Lots of good stuff.
Foxmar says, I'm planning on streaming Prey very soon, like tonight.
Special
effects. So if you want to see somebody playing Prey, if you want to hear more about it, then maybe check out Foxmar's stream tonight. Apparently it's really sweet.
Cool. I believe our normally I think
Whoa.
we may get to it tomorrow. We had an idea for what to do on New Day tomorrow, and it wasn't Prey.
Yeah, hey Graham,
I'm about to show you.
it's like the Deus Ex series and the System Shock series had a baby.
Ooh.
That's like totally your shit.
I don't want to see that happen. It sounds like a fun game. It sounds like a really horrible birthing position.
Wow, yeah. Hey, I'm on this microphone now.
Apparently it's a very sort of comfy game. You're like, I know what kind of game this is and I'm happy doing it.
Nice.
Like you're like, yes, this is exactly what I want. And I played like so many hours of Persona 5 yesterday because Graham was really good, and like watched Penelope so I could keep playing, and it was so good. Then I played till midnight, and then I was like, no. But it's so good, and I just got Yusuke on my team, and he's so great.
So
I already love him.
Okay, so we streams this week and how we tell you about streams going forward. James started full time, and we're like, great, that means stream trailers all the time. And then we stopped doing them, and because it turns out we don't think they're necessarily the best way.
Well, because they're immediately out of date.
Yeah, they're out of date like half a day after they go up.
Well, and the problem being, as they go more and more out of date, you have to sit through more and more shit you've already missed or seen to find out what's coming up.
Yeah, and also like not that many people watch them, honestly. So we figure, and they're on the YouTube channel. We figure out, and so we spoke with James about it, and we all figured that the best way. This was mostly James's idea, but we figured that the best way to get the information out to the people who care about it the most, which is you, the people who are already watching it, is to show stuff on the streams. So here I can show you the whole week. Let's just take a look at that right now. Whip. Here's the whole week in streams this week.
Yeah, this is a lot of visual information, but this is what's coming up.
Yeah.
So
So I'll go through this in a moment, but we'll be having this. We'll also be tweeting out this and daily updates about what's coming up, like today, what's coming up tomorrow. We'll be showing that at the end of some streams. But this is like the first one on Monday, so we're going to show you the whole week. So tonight is Tinker Tailor. Ian's building a T-shirt cannon, apparently. So there's that. Tomorrow, Alex
seems
is
safe.
Yeah, Alex is playing Strafe on New Day Tuesday tomorrow. 9 o'clock as usual on Wednesday. Watch him play this week. Very excited for that. Crossing the Streams on Wednesday night is going to be PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, which will be it's going to be a thing. I don't think James is leading the squad, and I don't think he's played much of it, but it should be pretty interesting. 18 games and counting, LRMPG as usual. They're going to continue near Automata on Talking Simulator, the Crapshoot on Friday. AFK this week is going to be Alex's new Highlander cube, and this week's Tap Tap Concede is the curation of that cube. So you get to see us build the cube on Tap Tap and then see us draft it on AFK on Friday. Adam's Gamehouse, Adam is going to be playing the War Mastered edition of Darksiders because he's hyped for Darksiders 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Loading Ready Live is this Saturday, and then Rhythm Cafe on Sunday is going to be poppin' music with a hilarious controller. So
He's already played Darksiders on stream.
yeah, but this is
Way back in the day.
Yeah, so it's a revisit, I guess. So
Saturday?
yeah, so the idea is that so here's this week, but every day you're going to be seeing on social media things for that day, and then on some streams you'll be seeing what's happening tomorrow and stuff like that. So that's the plan for how to tell you these things going forward, because it takes James just about as long, but I think there's probably more value in doing these in the stream trailers. Much as we enjoyed the stream trailers, it just felt like they weren't actually doing what they needed to be doing.
So that's the week coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saturday's a typo. Where? Saturday 1. Well,
It's differentiated from the other Saturday.
nobody's nerfed. All right. That's going to be it then.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Well, Graham is the one holding things up.
Well, no, Paul can still do it.
Paul.
See you tonight for
Bye.
building a t-shirt cannon.